Horticulture is the art of cultivating plants. Both gardeners and horticulturists alike need to identify plants correctly in order to select and grow them properly. Most people find learning plant names a daunting task. The first and most important step is become relaxed and comfortable about using plant names. Don't be scared of strange new words. This video will make that task much easier. Don't expect to learn everything overnight. Some people get a grasp of plant names in a few months, others take years. Persistence is important. Above all, don't worry about pronunciation. The scientific system of plant classification has been established to ensure plant names are written the same throughout the world. The names are not meant to be spoken the same throughout the world. The main thing about pronunciation is to be comfortable about saying the words. And the best way to become comfortable is to hear other people using those words. Watch videos, join a garden club, talk with nursery staff. These all help. The words used in many plant names are descriptive Latin words. Get to know some of these words and their meanings, and you'll find it much easier to remember words. Good plant identification books are a big help, but don't expect all books to be accurate. Always look to the background of the author. The best books are usually written by people with a reputable background, perhaps a graduate from a reputable college or associated with a reputable and relevant association or society. Plants have two types of names, common and scientific. Common names may be easy to remember, but they're not accurate. To identify plants correctly, you must use scientific plant names. There are more than 20 levels of classification used by scientists, but you really only need to learn about 3, maybe 4. Plants which have broad similarities to each other can be grouped into families. Plants with daisy-like flowers, for instance, are in the Asteraceae family, and all of your grasses, they're in the Poaceae family. Plant families are then divided into a number of subgroups called genera, the singular being genus. These are plants that have a number of similarities but don't generally interbreed. Genera are further divided into subgroups called species. These are plants that are closely related genetically and freely interbreed. Scientific names of plants are normally written as 2 words, the first word being the genus, the second word being the species. In simple terms, you can think of a genus being like a person's surname and a species being like the same person's Christian name. An example would be Mentha spicata. Mentha is the genus name, spicata is the species name. Sometimes an extra 1 or 2 words are added to the end of a genus and species name. This is to distinguish a particular variety of that species. For example, Tagetes patula disco orange is a variety of the marigold Tagetes patula, which has been given the variety name disco orange because of its brilliant flower colour. Occasionally, 2 different species can be interbred with a bit of human assistance. When this happens, the resulting plant is not a species, it's actually a combination of 2 natural species. We call such plants hybrids. An example would be Thryptomene FC Payne's hybrid. This is a hybrid of 2 Thryptomene species bred by F.C. Payne. Sometimes the word cultivar is used to refer to a particular plant. Cultivar is actually any plant which is being cultivated or which has been planted by people. A hybrid could be a cultivar. A named variety of a species could be a cultivar. An unnamed variety could also be a cultivar. A plant species growing in the wild or a weed not cultivated by people would not be a cultivar. Plant naming is based on the Latin language, so it could be argued that correct pronunciation would be similar to Latin. Pronunciation by leading horticulturists in fact varies greatly throughout the world, even from town to town in the same country. It only matters that you feel comfortable with pronunciation and you're able to communicate with other people. Species names are usually given to plants for a reason, and it's often easier to learn plant names if you understand those reasons. Often a plant's named after a person. Many Australian plants have the species name Banksii, for instance, named after the botanist Joseph Banks, who sailed with Captain Cook when he discovered Australia. Some plants are named after the place they come from. Plants with the name Japonica usually come from Japan, while those with the name Australis generally come from Australia. Other species names are descriptive. They might describe the colour, shape, or some other characteristic of the plant or part of the plant. The following plants all have descriptive names which are generally very easy to decipher. Think about them and try to understand their meanings. By learning about plant families, you'll have a framework upon which you can build your understanding of plants. If you can place a plant in a particular family, then you're greatly narrowing down the options of what it might be. In a way, this is the first step to identifying a plant. The families which follow are some of the largest and most important. These include a very large number of commonly cultivated plants. Look at the various examples from each family and notice the similarities within each group. Asteraceae, the daisy family, usually has daisy-like flowers. What is seen as a single flower is usually a composite or bunch of flowers grouped into a single head. The family here was previously called Compositae. Proteaceae, the Protea family. These usually have woody or leathery fruits and woody or leathery foliage. Young leaves are often bronze. Flowers are very often spectacular. Myrtaceae, the myrtle family. These are woody plants and the leaves are normally aromatic or scented. Rosaceae, the rose family. These flowers commonly have 5 petals and the fruits are fleshy. Lamiaceae, the mint family. The leaves are usually highly scented. Stems are commonly square or 4-sided, and flowers are commonly 2-lipped. This family was formerly called Labiatae. Ericaceae, the heath or erica family, are mainly woody shrubs, very often small. Leaves are commonly tough, quite commonly small, but not always. Flowers usually have 5 petals. Legumes are plants with pod-like fruits. There are 3 closely related legume families: Mimosaceae, Caesalpinaceae and Fabaceae. All 3 have pods like a pea, bean or wattle. Fabaceae has typical pea-like flowers and are usually simple, undivided leaves. Caesalpinaceae has typical pea-like flowers, but with compound, divided or fern-like leaves. Mimosaceae has fluffy flowers, unlike other legumes. Rutaceae, the citrus family, are woody plants with scented leaves and flowers which usually have 4 or 5 petals. By now, you should have a broad idea of how plants are named. We'll now review a range of species from families which you've just learnt about. Brachyscome multifida, 5 to 30 centimetres tall, is in the Asteraceae family. Rudbeckia fulgida, to 90 centimetres tall, is in the Asteraceae family. Dahlia helena, to 1.8 metres tall, is in the Asteraceae family. Banksia menziesii, to 5 metres tall, is in the Proteaceae family. Leucodendron sylvan red, to 2.5 metres tall, is in the Proteaceae family. Grevillea corinda firebird, to 2 metres tall, is in the Proteaceae family. Grevillea masons hybrid, to 2 metres tall, is in the Proteaceae family. Dryandra praemorsa, to 2 metres tall, is in the Proteaceae family. Eucalyptus tichocarpa, to 10 metres tall, is in the Myrtaceae family. Melaleuca hypericifolia, to 6 metres tall, is in the Myrtaceae family. Often shorter than 6 metres though. Metrosideros excelsus, 6 to 15 metres tall, is in the Myrtaceae family. Photinia robusta, 2.5 to 4 metres tall, is in the Rosaceae family. Spirea bumolda, Anthony Waterer, is in the Rosaceae family. Thymus vulgaris fragrantissimus, 15 to 35 centimetres tall, is in the Lamiaceae family. Rosmarinus officinalis is in the Lamiaceae family. Lathyrus odoratus, to 3 metres long, is in the Fabaceae family. Hardenbergia violacea, climate to 2 metres long, is in the Fabaceae family. Phaseolus caracola, to 7 metres long, is in the Fabaceae family. Bauhinia blackiana, to 13 metres tall, is in the Caesalpinaceae family. Nephofia uvaria, to 1.2 metres tall, is in the Liliaceae family. Hemerocallis, mountain violet, to 1.5 metres tall, is in the Liliaceae family. Allium scaneprosum, 20 to 40 centimetres tall, is in the Liliaceae family. Eriostemon myoporoides, 1 to 2 metres tall, is in the Rutaceae family. Boronia heterophylla, to 1.5 metres tall, is in the Rutaceae family. The naming of some plants can be particularly confusing because the commonly cultivated types are varieties which have been obtained by interbreeding species, and in some cases even the original parent species are unknown. Such plants are often written as simply a genus, or even a common name followed by a variety name or cultivar name given to it by the plant breeder. The following are examples of such plants. Flexibility, an in-depth correspondence course from Australian Correspondence Schools provides you with an opportunity to study and develop expertise with the plant group you love.